is from that Earth-directed solar storm that looks pretty wispy, but we could get about a 20 to 30% chance of minor storming again. So aurora photographers, if you're at high latitudes, you could definitely get a chance for a show. And now at mid-latitudes, well, we are looking at unsettled conditions for the most part. We have kind of a wind watch going with about a 10% chance of minor storm conditions, but likely the polarity just isn't the right way for this coronal hole to give us all that much of a show. And then by the 27th, we could get a bit of a chance again with that solar storm possibly hitting. It'll be pretty wispy. I'm giving us about a 15% chance of a minor storm conditions, but likely we're not going to see all that much at all. So aurora photographers, if you're at mid-latitudes, you're likely going to have to sit this one out and wait for the new regions on the east limb to give us a chance for a bigger show. And now switching to our solar flare and dayside radio blackout outlook over the coming week, we are sitting in the triple digits, almost up at 200 for solar flux, and it is going to climb over the rest of this week because of those new regions in Earth view that are continuing to rotate into Earth view from the east limb. NOAA's giving us about a 60% chance of M-class flares at an R1 to R2 level radio blackout, and that means we have moderate noise on the bands, and that will continue easily through this week. We're going to see it uptick a little bit, possibly going to about 70, possibly even 75% chance of R1 to R2 level radio blackouts by the end of the week. It depends upon how strong those active regions are as they rotate into Earth view. We even have a small chance right now of X-class flares at an R3 level radio blackout, and that also may increase. So amateur radio operators expect to have a bit more noise on the dayside radio bands, but things shouldn't be too bad. And now switching to our radiation storm and polar aviation outlook over the coming week. Everything is in the green this week. We have sitting in the D1 normal range. This is at flight level 360 for you aviators. This is also the S0 quiet range for everyone else. And NOAA's giving us only about a 1% chance of radiation storms at the S1 to S2 level, which basically means we're all in the clear. So even you frequent flyers and you high-risk passengers, and this does include air crew, looks like everything is going to stay in the green for this week, but next week things might actually start rising once again. So the space weather this week is picking up a little bit compared to last week. We do have a small pocket of fast solar wind from a coronal hole that's rotating in through the Earth strike zone, and we do have a small solar storm chaser. So aurora photographers, if you're at high latitudes, you could get a bit of a show, but aurora photographers at mid latitudes, it's likely going to be pretty weak, so you might need to sit this one out and wait for bigger solar storms. Now, amateur radio operators and emergency responders, well, we do have those returning regions on the east limb that could be big flare players here. They definitely are showing the potential for being big solar storm producers. So expect the noise on the radio bands to rise. Expect radio blackouts to be back on the menu easily over this week and possibly through next week as well. And now GPS users, well, things aren't looking too bad for you right now. We only have some small, weak solar storming that's going to be expected, so that shouldn't affect you too much on the night side. And now the day side, well, it looks like we do have some new regions rotating into Earth view that could give us a little bit of a problem, especially near dawn and near dusk. That's where your reception might be a little bit dicey, but overall, things should be pretty good for you. I'm Tamara the Scove, the Space Weather Woman. Thank you for watching.
Okay. Just bring up my camera. This one here, I think will do. All right. Apologies halfway. Look, just as you'd expect. I just at the start of Tamitha's video clip, I lost the internet. Clearly, her high frequency tone voice penetrated my modem. Sorry, that sounded funny. Anyway. Yes, so the internet fell over. So anybody watching Discord and YouTube lost vision. I do apologise. We're now Discording again, and we're now YouTubing again. So the streams are now running. All the LEDs are green on the modem. So I'm back online. But the other funny thing is, halfway through Tamitha's report, she she went silent. And I'm looking at the video here. I'm thinking, has the video frozen or what? Now the video was actually playing. She just decided to go quiet, and she had some graphics on the screen that were playing with some text. So that was a bit disconcerting, because for you folks that aren't able to watch the vision, or partly because my blasted internet had fallen over, we're a bit totally confused over the fact that would have been totally confused over the fact that there's all this dead air, and she was actually running the video. It was actually playing, but she just decided to go quiet. So it was a visual experience. My apologies for those that haven't got access to Discord yet, or YouTube, and the video decided to fall over. Streams decided to fall over. Well, that was an awkward one, so apologies for that particular Tamitha report. You had to be looking. All right, well, I'll finish off with what spaceweather.com is at least talking about. This is current, of course, fairly current, I suppose. The solar wind is currently at 309.5 kilometres a second at a density of 3.8 protons per cubic centimetre. The current disk of the sun is looking a bit like this for those watching the video. Actually, the TV repeater held up perfectly well, so my suggestion is that if you are within range of Melbourne, and particularly the Police Academy building, Mount View, there's a good possibility that you'll be able to view the repeater. So the television repeater hung in there all the way through, despite my stupid internet falling over. Anyway, you can see the sun there, and there's several sunspots in play as we speak. What next? The current sunspot number is 138. The radio sun is currently 197 solar flux units, measured at a wavelength of 10.7. The current auroral oval over Antarctica looks a little bit like this at the moment, and there's not much to write home about. So there's barely anything happening over the South Pole at the moment as far as auroral activity is concerned. She is quiet as. Continuing on with the report, they say that geomagnetic storm watch. NOAA forecasters are predicting a G1 class geomagnetic storm on October 26, when a CME is expected to graze the Earth's magnetic field. The CME was hurled into space yesterday by a powerful solar flare of X 3.3 magnitude from sunspot AR 3869. It is not heading straight for our planet, but even a glancing blow from this potent CME could spark bright auroras at high altitudes. This particular solar flare was recorded on the SOHO instrument, and we do have video footage of that, which I shall bring up right now, and there it is. I'll just loop it so it continues to go. And what they report here is that a big development in space weather forecasting. Imagine a giant CME heading straight for Earth, but no one knew it was coming. Space weather forecasters have long worried about such a scenario. Our best early warning system for CMEs is a coronagraph on board the Solar and Heliospheric Observatory, or SOHO, which was launched December 1995. How long can such an ancient spacecraft be expected to last? That's what it says, ancient. Well, launched in 1995, I suppose, but it still runs, and there it is. You can see the kind of image that it is sending to Earth, which is on the screen right now. Using an occulting disk, the blue the dark blue circle at the center of the video to block the glare from the sun, the CCOR1 delivers uninterrupted monitoring of CMEs with a new image every 15 minutes. GOES 19 is currently undergoing post-launch testing and checked out of its instruments, including the coronagraph. In spring 2025, NOAA will begin using CCOR 1 for regular CME forecasts, they say. SOHO, meanwhile, will continue to monitor the sun as it has done for almost 30 years. And this incredible spacecraft has discovered more than 5,000 sun-grazing comets and helps forecasters predict hundreds of strong geomagnetic storms. Long may it live. So this, what you're seeing on the screen right now, is actual image from the SOHO instrument that's been going now for 30 years, it seems. Pretty amazing stuff as well. All right, I think that's about all I can really glean from the solar report. The planetary K index is currently 0.67, and the 24-hour max is the KP is going to be 2, both considered quiet. As far as potentially hazardous asteroids are concerned, as of October 25th, there were 2,349 potentially hazardous asteroids, but none are on a collision course with Earth. Thank goodness for that. So on that note, being 9 past the hour, I really didn't think I'd be going that far, but there it is. We shall conclude our transmissions for tonight, the broadcast session. We shall go across to 80 metres and see if there are any stations wishing to check in for a quick check-in, and we'll go from there. So let me just check where my audio is there. That's unmuted, and I can just bring that up a little bit so that some of the audio is fed back over the video channels. This is VK3EKH listening on 3541 kilohertz for any stations wishing to check in.
VK3GL.
VK3GL. Whiskey Alpha.
VK3TJS.
This is VK3KIS.
Wow, there was a few doubles there. I've got VK3GL, VK5KKT, VK3JR, VK3 Whiskey Alpha, I think it was, VK3KIS. Is there any other stations?
VK3TJS.
VK3TJS, and there was another one.
Victor Kilo 3, Kilo Italy Sierra.
All right, and VK3SPX, and we got you, Andrew. So VK3GL, VK5 Kilo Tango, VK3JR, VK3 Whiskey Alpha, VK3KIS, VK3TJS, and VK3SPX at the bottom. Any other stations?
It's VK5 Whiskey Alpha.
Oh, VK5 Whiskey Alpha. Ah, right, VK5 Whiskey Alpha it was. All right, I'll just cross that one off. Gotcha. All right, to the top of the list, have a say, Gray, VK3GL, VK3EKH.
VK3EKH, VK3GL in Bunyip. Very good evening to you, Clint, and everyone else who's checked in tonight on the callback session. Unfortunately, I didn't get to catch a whole lot of your broadcast, and about the time that I did, I joined on Discord, and the video dropped out. So I really didn't get too much of the cast tonight, other than the fact that I was listening to a bit of it in the background on 80 metres. Been a bit busy at work tonight, so I just haven't had the opportunity to remain focused on your missions. So I do apologise for that, and I really don't have any comment to pass on the broadcast. But I guess for everyone else who did listen to the full session, I'm sure it was well worthwhile. Good signal on 80 metres to report to from you. You've been solid over 20 over 9, sometimes almost 40 over 9. So tremendous signal on 80 metres and sounding really, really good. And I think 80 metres is in pretty good shape too, because the stations that have checked in tonight are also quite quite strong, quite readable here in West Gippsland. Anyway, back to you there, Clint. I just thought I'd pop in and say hello. Good evening to everyone else who checked in. As I mentioned, good signals, and everyone was heard here in Bunyip. VK3EKH, VK3GL.
Yeah, no worries, Graham. VK3GL, Bunyip, VK3EKH returning. Excellent stuff. Not a problem at all. Yes, good signal from you. Everybody's actually sounding pretty good tonight, so 80 metre is nicely working. So thanks, Gray, and thank you for the report. And it's okay. Note that you're working, so it's okay if you get interrupted. Again, apologies for the stream falling over. So I think the problem's very much at this end. So it's a nuisance when that happens. Anyway, thanks, Graham. Ian, VK5KKT, VK3EKH.
VK3EKH and the group VK5 double KT. Very good evening to you there, Clint. Good broadcast. I have no trouble with any of your video feeds at all here. No problem at all because I was only listening on 80 metres. So we didn't have any problem. But thanks very much for your efforts. Very much appreciated. And the some activities I find always very interesting. Back to you. Thank you very much for your efforts. VK3EKH and the group VK5 double KT.
Yeah, no worries, Ian. VK5KKT, VK3EKH. You're 5 and 9 plus, and not a bad signal at all. Just a fraction of frequency, and I was trying to turn the clarifier, and I kept taking you off frequency. So that's just me mucking around here on the radio. I wasn't quite getting the clarifier working for some reason. I don't know why that wasn't behaving itself. But anyway, no, never mind. We got most of you, so that's fine. Thanks, Ian. Good to hear you. Thanks for calling in. Frank, VK3JR, VK3EKH.
VK3EKH, VK3JR. Good evening, Clint. Good evening, everyone. Great broadcast. As usual, Clint, your usual high standard being maintained. And of course, I'm also very interested in what the sun's doing. And it's doing plenty. We must be getting pretty close to the peak now. Clint, I wonder if you could just update us on how the chart is reading in that direction. We must be getting very close to the top. That's really all I had to say. No missions tonight. No crossband missions. But there'll be some tomorrow afternoon from 5 till 7 on the usual frequencies. And again on Sunday afternoon. Back to you, Flint. VK3EKH, VK3JR.
Yeah, no worries, Frank. Thank you very much, Lee. VK3JR, VK3EKH returning. Very good. Good signal from you too. Excellent sounding signal. Yes, well, there was an article I read out early in the piece. I think it was the first article after my alien extraterrestrial article at the start, that was saying that the scientists now think that we have reached maximum, solar maximum, but solar maxima is likely to spread out over the next 12 months anyway. So trying to pinpoint a particular time for the solar maximum might be a little bit hard to do. It's a little bit, you sort of can't say that it's now exactly at 12 o'clock this afternoon or tonight or tomorrow or whatever. But according to the latest chart that I've got there, it's to me the chart looks like it still wants to peak. But the scientists are now saying that it looks like we have peaked. So we're going to pretty much maintain that, I think, for a little while to come, for a few more months at least. Thanks, Frank. Okay on the missions, and not a problem at all. All right, across to Andrew, VK3KIS. VK3KIS, VK3EKH. Hope you're doing a little bit better at the moment.
VK3EKH, VK3KIS. Good evening, Clint, and all on the group. Hope everyone is doing well. Good to hear Frank out there. And as far as whether the sunspot has peaked or not, they always give the answer that we'll know in a year whether we peaked now or not, but we can't tell you now whether we peaked. I guess that's just the way the averaging works. But I was hoping we'd be able to see some aurora sometime soon. But kind of lost a major portion of my vision and balance. So I've been on the recovery bench for the last couple of weeks. So so sorry that I missed out the broadcast, but good to hear you out there and keep it going. VK3 EKH, VK3 KIS, back to you.
Yeah, no worries, Andrew. VK3 KIS, VK3 EKH. Well, you take it easy, old boy. Relax, take it easy, and try to look after yourself a little bit more. But I do hope that you recover very, very quickly and get back to full strength. So take care, Andrew, and good to hear you. Absolutely great to hear you on the air. So there it is. No, take care, old boy. All right, thanks, Andrew. Jack, VK3TJS in Shepparton, VK3EKH.
Yeah, VK3EKH and the group. This is VK3TJS. Good evening to Clint. Good day to everyone that's joined the broadcast. And quite a good transmission, all the way probably 20 over here in Shepparton. No problem. I've had a couple of dropouts on the Discord there. Had to reconnect a few times, and but it was still good. And I think when the lady started talking about the weather, that's when it dropped out. But no, it was good. So no problem. Hope you have a good weekend and enjoy the weather. Should be a bit warmer. Still rather cool here in Shepparton, so wish you all the best, and also to everyone. VK3 EKH and the group, VK3 TJS.
Yep, no worries, Jack. Thanks very much. VK3 TJS in Shepparton, VK3 EKH. Good signal from you too, 59 plus 15, coming through quite well indeed. No worries, Jack. Thanks for calling in. Steve, VK3SBX, VK3EKH.
VK3EKH, this is VK3SBX. G'day, Clint. Interesting stuff as usual. I used to belong to the Planetary Society as well, Clint, but I haven't belonged for many years. I do listen to the podcast every now and again, which is good. Keep up to date with what they're doing, and it's very interesting. And that picture of the gamma ray, picture of the center of the galaxy was spectacular, wasn't it? I was very impressed with that, and in general about what they're doing with the gamma ray telescopes. That Pevitron, that's a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? I looked up to see what that meant, and apparently when protons or whatever accelerated to peta electron volts, I believe. I think that's where it comes from. Yeah, anyway, let's hope the peak solar stays at the peak for a while. I guess they're not really saying how long that'll be, but hopefully another year before it really goes down in any meaningful way. All right, thanks, Clint. We'll see you again next time. VK3EKH, VK3SPX.
Yeah, no worries there, Steve. Good on you, mate. Thanks very much for calling in. And I agree that that radio image, I just popped it up on the screen just then. It's quite a stunning image. The amount of resolution that's in that, which is picked up by radio telescopes, is and infrared imaging is just just amazing stuff. Yes. Thanks, Steve. All right, and last on the list is Dallas, VK5 Whiskey Alpha. Have a go, Dallas.
Yeah, VK5 Whiskey Alpha, Portable 2. Received well here, Clint. Not that far away, relatively, but in the Yass River valleys there. Been here a couple of days. On a Starlink, is it? The Elon Musk thing. So the dropouts, I was wondering if it was that or otherwise. But as others have said, a few dropouts with Discord. Always have trouble with that, or I forget to reset. I watch it sitting there looking at me with nothing happening, and I think, oh, maybe I should reset, not that I'm too late. Anyway, HF 80 metres worked well, received well, they're all very good. And thanks again there. I've been away a bit and not near the radio that much, or out of earshot to some extent. So I thought I'd try and put the effort in tonight. So all good there, Clint, and good evening to everybody else. VK5 EKH, VK5 Whiskey Alpha Portable 2.
No worries, Dallas. Good on you. VK5 Whiskey Alpha Portable 2 in the Riverina area, I think it is. That part of VK2, I think. VK3 EKH CSJ on the microphone coming back. Yeah, no worries, Dallas. Good on you. Thanks for calling in. Good signal coming in from VK2. That's I thought you might have been up there in at home, but no, you're coming through from VK2 without a problem at all. Again, sorry about the stream falling over. No, it's not Starlink. In fact, if I had something going through Starlink, it would probably be far more successful. But no, we've just got a 2-wire connection to a node out in the street, probably about 200 meters away. So it's a copper wire to the node, and the Telstra smart modem is the thing that keeps falling over. So I've got this copper pair above ground coming to the room here. It's not buried, so it's acting like a nice antenna. So if there's any RF getting into things, that's where it's happening. So I even if I was to build, I was thinking about building a little Faraday cage for the modem to sit in. I'm not 100% sure if that would really solve the problem. So the modem incorporates a GSM module so that I can actually connect to the Telstra network, to the cellular telephone network, but the data transfer rates are reduced. It's not as good as it is with the direct. So I have problems with good streaming with Discord together with YouTube. It just struggles a little bit. So anyway, yeah, I've got to think about how I can improve the internet issues here. I do have a possibility of connecting to my neighbour. When I say not my neighbours as in like next door, but on the same property where I live, there's what I refer to as the main residence, just 30 metres away. It's my where my sister lives, and her daughter and husband. And her husband, my nephew-in-law, has fibre to the modem. He's got fibre to his modem, and he has often said to me, "Get rid of the Telstra thing. Don't worry about NBN. Piss it off, and share his internet connection, which is gigabytes worth of data." So I'm seriously thinking about doing that. Getting rid of the current internet connection that I've got and attaching a line to his modem, which might just solve everything. And we share the cost of the modem, of course, or his internet connection at least, which I think is iNet. Anyway, I'll think about that. Still thinking about it. Anyway, thanks, Dallas. Excellent signal from you, and thanks for calling in. Are there any other stations wishing to check in? VK3 EKH listening. Okay, on that note, thanks everybody for watching and listening. Again, apologies for the internet falling over just as Tabitha started. So Let's hope that won't happen again next week. Anyway, cheers everyone. Have a nice weekend. Stay warm, and thanks for listening and watching. And we'll be back next Friday to do it all again. This is VK3 Echo Kilo Hotel on behalf of the Astronomical Society of Victoria, with the regular Friday night broadcast concluding transmissions for tonight on 80 metres and via the streams. And I guess Melbourne Television Repeater 2 I should include, VK3RTV. And we'll be back Sunday morning to do the WIA broadcast on 160 metres on 18:25 AM from this location, and then on Melbourne Television Repeater at 10:30 again, and it repeated again at 8 o'clock on Sunday night for the video adaptation of the WIA broadcast. And with the same broadcast that I do on 160 metres 9 o'clock on Sunday morning, that is the video adaptation that I play. And so if you are within range of my 160 meter AM transmission, I simulcast the video on Discord at the same time, so you can tune in and listen to me on 160 and then turn on Discord to see the video side of it. I just thought I could do that because I can. Anyway, cheers everyone, take care. This is VK3 EKH concluding. Cheers everyone. No, she's on the other cushion at the moment.
No, she's probably nice and warm.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, way to go. Anyway, you want to, you got to tie the ribbons on the internet, do you?
I'm finishing in total.
Yeah, so you're not going to come back and say hello?
Well, I've already been now operating for an hour and a half.
Well, okay. No, fair enough. All right, that's all right, mate. I've got, I've only got about half an hour to go, and then I'll be pulling the pin as well. So I was only going to see if you're up for a bit of a chat for a few minutes anyway. It's gone a bit quiet here at work, and yeah, just catch up on what the latest scandal was, if there was any, as Dennis would say. VK3C has changed VK3GL.
No, Graham, there's no scandal. We're still working. We're still. I've picked up my two black cats from the vet. They've been desexed, and they're happy to have their little red vests taken off them. They've been wearing for the last 10 days. So, two little gorgeous black cats. They're out in the kitchen, and so that's all been sorted. And meanwhile, I'm just still dealing with the mess here, and I want to get myself a shipping container dropped off so I can throw some stuff in there, and there's a whole lot of things that I'm wanting to do. So yeah, but you know, it's a process. So we're getting there. Yeah. Otherwise, there's not much else to report, really. I think I mentioned to you that our company's been taken over. Well, not taken over, but bought out. The current CEO has sold the company for about $50 million, and some Finnish company is our new taker over us. I forget the name of them. I can't remember the new company, but anyway. So in about 2 years' time, the SRX Global will go through a name change. But at this point in time, we've been told that all our jobs are still okay, but that's yet to be seen. But yeah, so SRX has been bought out, or it's whatever, sold to another mob, Finnish mob in Finland, Helsinki. What are they called? I can't remember the name for them, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm going to retire in 2 years' time. So in 2 years, if the company does get sold again and whatever, then it'll be time for me to retire, and I don't care what happens after that. Doesn't matter. All right, look, you concentrate on the next 30 minutes, and we'll leave it at that. VK3GL, VK3CSJ.
Yeah, okay, Clint, VK3CSJ, VK3GL. Okay. No, you didn't. I wasn't aware that there'd been a takeover, so that's interesting. And then, of course, a name change, as you indicate, in a couple of years' time. Yeah, trouble with these takeovers, though, someone comes in and they want to do it perhaps a bit better than the last person. So they have, can change the culture of the place. They can review the way the place is structured. And I suppose it also depends on what type of work or what contracts they pick up and what work comes in as well. A lot of factors there. So I hope you continue to remain safe for at least a couple of years anyway. Which, if you're intending to work out another couple more years, that'd be ideal. In my case, I don't have that intention. I'm still looking to try and map things out so that this time next year I'd probably be finished up. Well, that's what I hope to do anyway. I've never ever had any intention of working longer than what I needed to, and I guess you're exactly the same. But it comes down to necessity too. So I'm getting to the point where it's a bit of a chore, but it's sometimes easy work, and it is at home, so it has all those advantages. And as much as it's not